Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Webmardi tonight. I'm really happy to be with you tonight. So let's go through the agenda. So we'll make a short intro about the Webmardi, what it is all about. Then we're going to have Caroline for a talk about UX conversion and content. Then we will have the question and answer session. Basically, if you want to ask a question to Caroline, please add your comment, your question to YouTube and Twitch, and we will moderate those questions and ask those questions to Caroline at the end of the talk. We will also share the next talk with you, and we'll have some more slides about about jobs and other stuff that we are looking forward to do with you. So the Webmardi is basically an association that runs meetup in Romandie on the western part of Switzerland. We have Camille, Nelson, Kevin, and myself. We are taking care of this association, and we're making events every month. We usually do an event every first Tuesday of each month. It's about the web. That could be a new tool that you are using in your daily work as a developer, or something that you want to share, an experience that you want to share as a designer, as a product manager. So that's really open for any kind of talk. The Webmardi is sponsored by Leap and Antistatic. Those are the main sponsors, and they help us to make those events real. So thank you to them. We also have partners, JetBrains and Smashing Magazines. Good. As I said, tonight we're having Caroline with us. Hello.
Hello.
Good. So tonight you're going to talk about how UX drives conversion, right?
Exactly. We're going to talk sales.
Awesome. Great. So I won't talk much more, and I will hand over you the talk.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's get started. Maybe just I introduce myself real quick so you know who you're going to listen to for the next few minutes. I am a content strategist and UX writer, and on one hand side, I make user experience more smooth and more nicer in a way, but also sales is a big topic since I have a background in advertising. So sales within the user experience is something that I love dearly and I find very important to talk about, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So yeah, this experience or this session today should end with a buy button, and I'm going to talk about 5 practices on how to upsell and cross-sell within the user experience. So we're not going to talk marketing. We're really going to talk about how do we sell once the user is already in an experience. And I think we should get started right away, and we'll enter an experience right away. And this experience is called Disneyland. I hope it's loading. Come on. Yes. And there you go. So what you see here is the daughter, Serafina. He is in California at Disneyland together with her papa, my husband. And they went 2 years ago. They paid each about $100 to enter. So they went with the grandparents, which means they were 4 people. They paid about $400 to enter this experience. And of course, Serafina needed to have the Mickey Mouse shaped pancakes while they were at Disneyland. So we have our first upsell. So they were already in the experience and they had to buy more. Then Daniel, my husband, he bought this app, like the Disneyland app, to find his way through Disneyland. And of course, they had to buy those pictures that I guess there were some photographers at Disneyland. So there is another upsell. And then, of course, Serafina had to have breakfast with the princesses. And Daniel told me that was another $500 expense. So another huge upsell. but not enough. They went back to Zurich, where we live. And here you see my parents, so Serafina's other grandparents, the Swiss grandparents, and they got those silly Mickey Mouse hats. And you see Großpapa, which means grandpa, and Nonna, which means grandma. And there is another upsell. And the reason I like this example so much, it shows perfectly that if users like an experience, they want more of it. So they already paid to enter Disneyland, but they were willing to pay a lot more because they loved it so much. And so the question that we want to talk about today is, how do we create an experience so that users want to buy more? Because upselling is so much easier than finding new customers. Finding new customers is extremely tedious and expensive. So once you already gain their trust, actually you can get a lot more money in there. So we want to look at that. And to look at that, I love to talk about, like I discuss it with a model, and it's called the hierarchy of content needs. It's this little pyramid, and it starts in the very bottom. So if you want to sell, you have to first deliver a gain or solve a pain. So serve your users. Then you have to guide them. You have to ensure cognitive processing. So you have to make sure they actually understand what you're showing them, what you're presenting them. Then you have to connect through your brand, like you have to connect on an emotional level. So you solve a problem, they understand what they have to do, but they just open their heart. They like the brand. Then anticipate what the user wants. So in Serafina's case, she was hungry, and there Disneyland was ready to serve her some Mickey Mouse shaped pancakes. And then and only then, at the very end, you can make an offer. So on the bottom, we have basic UX need, and only on the very top, we can sell. We don't want to do that constantly. We only want to do it when the user is ready. We're going to dive in these, 5 elements, and we start with the bottom. Serve, deliver a gain, and solve a pain. So in the example that we're looking at, Disneyland, serve or deliver a gain, that was easy, right? Disneyland is just a joyous experience. They want more of it, so that was easy. But we want to look at the other one. How can you solve a problem? So Daniel had to rent a car when he was in California in order to drive little Serafina to Disneyland. So he had to go to this place here. This is the website of the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles. That's where you renew your driver license. This is a great example. So look at this website, right? There is this red box. It says immediate attention. And then you have lower down, you have in all caps, important, do not blah, blah, blah. So it is a bad user experience. It creates stress. You don't know what to do, where to look. However, Daniel spent a lot of time on this website because it solved his problem. So you could say, okay, it's the Department of Motor Vehicles. They have a monopoly on this. So that's not quite a fair example, but I like to use this example because it shows that if you solve a problem so well that users will stay with you anyways, you don't really have to care about anything else. So find the problem, find your niche, and serve your users, and they will stay with you. But of course, the DMV also figured out that you can't really treat your users like that, although they will stay for a long time on such a crappy website. But last year, they redid their website. And that brings us to the next part. So it's much more structured now. And so, yeah, we said, like on the bottom, deliver gain and solve a pain. And if you do that really well, and nobody else does it as well as you do, you'll have your users. But we want to be nicer. We want to be kind to our users, and we want to guide them what the DMV did eventually as well. And we want to ensure cognitive processing. And somebody who knows how to do that really, really well is the Easter Bunny in our family. So you see here a white screen because we never actually got this Easter Bunny on a picture, but it does exist and it knows a lot about UX. So let me show you. So what you see here is that pink little plate, and in the evening, the evening before Easter, Serafina puts a lot of salad in that pink bowl or in that pink plate. And in the morning, when she gets up, all excited, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and she sees that there is only a few little leaves left because the Easter Bunny came and ate all the salad. However, Easter Bunny left her a trail, and she is excited. She knows there's going to be adventures waiting for her. So Easter Bunny knows to start a user experience, you have to start with an encouraging beginning, that the users want to dive in. Then Easter Bunny knows he or she has to give really easy guidance if the user is a toddler. So in this case, you see that this little path through our neighborhood, and Serafina could easily follow. So easy guidance is super important when you want to ensure cognitive processing. If you want to make sure that your users follow you on their path through your website or your app, ensure that they can follow easily. Then also what Easter Bunny knows, that little toddlers, they have very short attention span. So even though they can easily follow that path, they will get distracted eventually. So that's why Easter Bunny put some chocolate in between. So you see there's this little path, the red little pieces of paper, they follow to that green box, and behind Serafina there is papers. I don't know if you see my cursor here. There is a path back up the street. So yeah, in order that Serafina stays with the Easter Bunny, she stays interested and motivated, there is motivational support along the path, and then of course at the end there is the end prize. And you know what, Easter Bunny is so clever that they even make sure that she even makes sure that different users can follow. But anyways, that's on a side note. That was our cat. So yeah, ensure cognitive processing. Of course, I also have a real life example. So this is an app from a car insurance. I just was looking. So anyways, yeah, all is good. That is an app from a car insurance, and it's the onboarding screen to get a quote. And they also start with this encouraging start. They say, you could save hundreds on your car insurance. And what could be more encouraging than saving money? And then they have these simple questions, 1 question per screen. What's your name? When's your birthday? What's your home address? Super easy guidance. And then in between, they have motivational support. They say, well done, we'll prepare your info now. So that's not as motivational as when you get chocolate, like Serafina did, but it's this nice little encouragement. And while the user is waiting, we give them some nice words. And then at the end, they get the end prize, view my quote. So yeah. Ensure cognitive processing. Make sure that you have easy to understand headlines, that you have pictures that make sure that that help the user to understand what's going on a page or in an app. Then the next one is connect through your brand. So for that, I love to use cars as an example, because like if you need to go from A to B, you need a car. But any car will do the job. So what do car brands do that you will choose their car and not some other brand? And that's where tone of voice or branding comes in. Of course, I'm coming from writing, so I talk about the tone of voice, but for design, it's exactly the same. So the example that we want to go and look at is from the car world. So here you see an ad, a Mercedes-Benz ad for a test drive. So Mercedes-Benz is this premium luxury brand. So you see like a bit of shaded image, like beautiful cars. The people are dressed in like elegant clothes. And the headline says, test drives, done your way. So super premium. It's all like, we will care for you. We will do anything in order to serve you, customer. Then exactly the same product, a test drive, but a different brand. So BMW, you have like, you see a mountain pass, and the pictures are the car pictures images are taken from an angle that looks a bit racy. And then the headline says, ready to get behind the wheel. So it's all performance driven. Exactly the same product, but totally different experience. Then here we have Mini, again, same product, apply for a test drive. And the image is here. It's a bit like cool, urban hipster. And the headline says 48 hours of style hunting. Perfect for style aficionados. Who's in? So it's fun and stylish. And the last example, again, same product, test drive. And I really like that. It's from our friends up in the north. They just say test drive, select your model below. So Volvo is all, it's super pragmatic. It's like no advertising, no tone of voice. We just say what we need. The same is true when you actually buy the car and you download the app so your phone can connect with the car. So Mercedes says convenient control. Again, yeah, convenience. It's all about test drives done your way. It's all about we care for you, the user or the driver. So it's all premium. Then BMW, they say it's a bit small. I'll read it out loud for you. Yeah, check on your driving performance. Again, it's all on performance and it's like speedy and competition. Then Mini, just look at it. It's all fun and pleasure and style. And then again, Volvo, they just give you a demo mode, super pragmatic. So it's the same use case, but a totally different experience. So it's the same, they solved the same problem. They have totally figured out how to ensure cognitive processing. You know, you push the gas, you push the brake, and you use the steering wheel. And the way they connect to the user is through a different tone of voice, a different branding. And what's kind of interesting, so BMW has been using this claim sheer driving pleasure or le plaisir de conduire, or actually in German, that's where it originated, since it's a German car brand, Freude am Fahren. So just think for yourself real quick, how many years has BMW been using sheer driving pleasure? More like 5, 10, 15. So it's actually crazy. So there's a new website that talks about it. And so they have been using this since 1965. I bet nobody, or just a few people have been born before that. So yeah, so it's 56 years old. I mean, that's crazy. So they have been using the same positioning for over half a decade. And what I want to say is like, it's really like often we think like, yeah, branding or tone of voice, yeah, whatever. But it's really, really worth investing in that because do a good job, save a lot of money in the long term. Or another one, same question, how many years has Nike been using Just Do It? Was it like 5 years, 10 years? What do you think? So yeah, the slogan was coined in 1988, a bit younger, but it's been around for 33 years. And I mean, isn't it crazy? Because it still feels so young. They still play with it. They still use it on all their branding. And it's really, the positioning is still the same. It's this pure athletic performance positioning, and they're still playing with it. And this example actually, you see, yes, brings us to our next little chapter. So we've been talking about the Disneyland experience, we've been talking about cars, and now we're entering the world of sports. So, and this is actually a true story. When my husband and Serafina, they go every summer, they go to California, and I stay home in Switzerland. And together with my dad, we get ready for a mountain half marathon. And we do that every summer, and I like to train with a fitness app. And I use this fitness app, my Fitness Pal. And this is interesting. So when you open the app for the first time, it shows you an upsell or an actual sell. It says, sign up for the premium and you get even 1 month for free. Makes sense. You open it and they say, like, if you want to, there's a free version, but also a paid version. Kind of makes sense. So when you enter, all I want to use is those videos to get stronger in my running. And so on the top, they have a Go Premium, kind of makes sense. But as you go through the app, so that's the next one, You see here an app, actually it didn't even load. So it says, say goodbye to ads, go premium. Or there's another one, no, get calorie goals by meal, go premium. So they use 25% of the real estate, of the screen real estate for advertising that I'm not interested at this stage. I'm not interested at all because I just want to use these fitness videos and track my success. And it goes on like that. On every screen you have that. And I stopped using my Fitness Pal because selling at the wrong place feels bad. It feels in your face. It feels annoying. And actually, there is a fun statistic. I found the same for Germany. I couldn't find one for Switzerland, but this one is the best. I chose it the best. So it's America's most and least trusted professions. And what we want to look at is the least trusted professions. And it's down here. It's in America, it's car salespeople are the second least trusted professions. I think in Germany is the least trusted is insurance salespeople. But anyways, oh, there we go. Actually, I have it even in here. Yeah, Versicherungsvermittler, insurance brokers are the most disliked professions in Germany. So we don't like salespeople. And I found another interesting statistics. They asked, why don't we trust salespeople? And they say they don't care about buyer needs. They don't know their products. And I think that my Fitness Pal ad, where you have the two ads right next to each other and one didn't even load, it's really like, it seems like they didn't know their product where they put their thing. It was in my face and it was taking too much space. Or they only care about making the sale. They use high pressure tactics. So yeah, selling at the wrong place feels bad. However, selling at the right place feels like a rescue. And that's what happened to me. So here, and now we need the next video, please. We have a little screencast. Oh, yeah, there we go. I have to look in this screen. So yeah, this is a marathon training app from Nike. And so they start with an encouraging start. You are in control. Start this epic journey. So like Easter Bunny taught us, encouraging start. Then we have easy guidance. And, oh no, this is motivational support. We have some videos. And then we have speed runs, long runs, recovery runs. So it's super easy guidance. So it really, this website takes me through all their offering or their content. And it goes all the way down. And then we have at the end, we have the end price. There is the app that I can download. And then, and only then, they do the sale. They offer running shoes. They don't offer backpack or tents or something. They offer me what I need when I have spent so much time with a running website. They offer me running shoes. So we go back to my presentation. Perfect. There we go. So what we looked at is, so this website, the Nike website, so they solved my problem. I wanted to have an app that helped me prepare for my half marathon. They guided me. They ensured cognitive processing, that I knew what I'm looking at and where I'm going to. They connected through their voice of tone and their visual images. And then they anticipated what I need next. And then and only then at the very end, they made the offer. Oh yeah, here you see me run. I actually did that marathon, and these people you already know. But what we really want to look at is this app. So that's the same that we just looked at. That website is now here on mobile screen. And what's interesting about this example, like 80% of what we looked at is user need. It's just, I need an app that helps me get ready for my marathon. And just on the very top or on the very bottom, just 20% of the real estate or even less is used to make the sale. And what I like about this example, it really seems that here the sales department and the UX department, they worked closely together. So yeah, our learning from this example is let's talk to our sales team, and actually let's talk with our sales team, or even better, let's work with the sales team. So when you create an experience, that has nothing to do with sales. That is just, you just do e-banking, or you do an insurance app, or you create a new, whatever app you're working on. Talk to the sales team and ask, hey, where could we do an upselling? Where could we do cross-selling? What could we offer our users? What could they need so we can make more money? Because more money means we have more jobs at the end of the day. So an example that I like is, we're back in the car world. So Scout24, they sell cars, but they also sell an insurance, because everybody who buys a new car needs car insurance. So it makes total sense to put that there. And then when you click on insurance, or dans comparer les assurances, you see you can apply for an insurance, or I think they calculate it, and it's already pre-filled out. So you don't have to fill it in. So they already filled it out for you because they knew what car you were looking at. So that really shows there is this experience buying a used car. And by just adding insurance, they do a great upsell. Then also, let's work with our analytics team. Let's find out how users behave on the website, so we can really do the best, we can create the best sales experience. And an example that we actually worked on was for Victorinox Swiss Army. Our job was to buy more fragrances, but it's really, really hard to do that on a website, because nobody was really interested, or not a lot of people were interested in fragrances. People came for the Swiss Army knife. So what we then did is acknowledge, understand that they're coming for the Swiss Army knife, but once they're in the experience, we started to strategically guide them towards fragrances, and make the sale not in the beginning, but like on a little detour, but it still brought us where we wanted them to be. So just by understanding the analytics, by understanding the user behavior, we could guide them in a much more effective way for us, but hopefully also for the users, because they discovered a new side of Victorinox. And then last but not least, let's work with our customer service team. And actually, there was this great talk by Jen Schaefer. She's the head of content at Netflix. And she had this talk, Customer Call Centers, a UX writer's secret weapon. And it's really, if you want to solve customers' problem, talk to the customer help center or service center, because they know what doesn't work, because people call them. And that way you know how you can solve problems, and you know where you can make your next offer. So yeah, let's wrap this up. So when you want to prepare the user that they sell more, that they want more of your experience, you first have to deliver a gain or solve a pain. We've seen an example to deliver a gain, it's pleasure, something pleasurable, like a carousel ride at Disneyland, or solve a pain, like find a pain that you can, like what problem do your users come to you and serve them or solve that problem. Then, the user says, maybe this experience is not enjoyable, but it solves my problem, and that's why I'm coming. Then ensure cognitive processing, and the user will say, it solves my problem, and it's so easy. So easy to find that chocolate bunny, or so easy in this app, I could just answer a few questions, and I got what I wanted. Then connect through your brand. So the user would say, that's helpful, it's so easy, and it's so me. So although the car, we had these car examples here, the car, any car solves the problem. It brings you from A to B. Any car is easily understood by now. So the way you differentiate is through your brand. Then anticipate the flow. So the user will say, and that's exactly what I need. And we had this Nike example. So I spent a lot of time with this app. So it made sense that eventually I'll need some new shoes. And only then you can sell and make an offer. Yeah. And the user says, I have to have that. Yes, exactly. And look at Serafina. So it's 2 years since they have been at Disneyland because they can't go anymore. And look what happened with her. Next video, please.
Play Mickey Mouse.
No problem. Here's the album, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, by various artists.
Mishka, Muska,
Stop.
Mickey Mouse.
Hey, Silly. Stop.
So yeah, Serafina liked, thank you for the video. Serafina liked that Mickey Mouse experience so much that she still loves to listen to it. So it's really worth investing in a good experience. And yeah, I said this experience is going to end with a buy button. And now the big question, do you buy this? And thank you very much. Now we want to hear your questions or your remarks to actually, yeah. What do you think? Thank you.
Hello, thank you very much, Caroline, for this talk. That was really, really interesting. We have a few questions, and I guess Camille will ask you those questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for the talk. What I like the most is it's a subject that we are not used to talk about in Webmardi and the marketing way, and yeah, it's more. Yeah, it's a subject that we need to go through. I think more fun. We have only 3 questions though, so if you are still watching and you have any question, don't hesitate to add it in the chat. So the first one is, what do you mean by tone of voice completely, and do you have any advices? It's a question from Geoffroy.
So a tone of voice or a tonality is all the words that you use to express your brand. So it is, for example, yeah, Santa Claus, he has this whoa, whoa, whoa. So that's his tone of voice. And then you have, do I find another example? The Mickey Mouse has the squeaky voice. And so they have a totally different way of the words they use, or the tonality that they use, or the intonations that they use is very different. And just by hearing their voice, you would know who speaks. And for example, a premium brand, Mercedes, uses a lot like it's very formal, whereas Mini is very informal. Or in German and French, what's, tutoyer or vous voyez,
yeah.
That's an easy way. Like, is it formal or not formal? Or what level of formality does it have?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. I still have a question linked to this one. Do you have any advices to help people like us to make understand the meaning and the importance of tone of voice? Sorry.
Yeah, so through words we connect with our readers or our users. And by choosing words consciously, it will help you make the machine feel less machiney. It makes a machine, or like if you have to write an error screen and you use expert language, for the user that feels very like, yeah, machine is talking to me. But we don't connect as humans. We don't connect with machines. We connect with other human beings. So the more humane your language is, and the more the user connects with that voice, the more likely they are to actually do what you want them to do. Or if you have an error screen and it's in very technical jargon, people tend to be scared and they just run away, and then they don't ever want to come back. But if you use words that are humane, that are like, everyday language, they understand, they won't be afraid that much, and they will stay with you and do what you want them to do. So a tone of voice is especially in the user experience, is extremely important. So our users follow along with us and they do what we want them to do.
Thank you. And as you said, it's a way to add a difference between your competitors. And and I like the sentence that you say, like, if they love an experience, they want more. So it helps also with to share the experience. Thank you so much. We can go through the next question. What resources would you recommend to learn about this topic? Resources, we mean like social network or books on, well, what do you think about? It's a question from Geoffroy. Also.
So the website that I like the most, let me just look it up. Especially for us within the UX writing. So within UX, I mean, it's really the genre is UX writing and content strategy and UX writing. And the book that I love most is Strategic Writing for UX by Tori Potmajersky. And then there is a website, and that's what I was trying to find. And it's a UX writing library. And there you have all different kinds of resources. You also have a lot of tone of voice. You find the tone of voice or the style guide from all the big companies, you know, Uber and Google and Airbnb. And I think it's the UX writing library. You can just Google it. And there's also the Complete Guide to UX Writing. And I know the author's name, but I can't spell it or I can't pronounce it. It's Kinneret Shifra. She is Israeli, I think.
Okay. Do you have any mentors into that topic that you usually follow?
So Tori Potmajersky is a great source. Christina Halvorson, she is basically the founder of Content Strategy. She also has a great book. It's called, I think it's just called Content Strategy, the Complete Guide as well. And it's like 10 years old.
Okay.
I think these two are good people to start with.
Okay, thank you for all those resources. I'm sure that some other people will look at them. We might share them as well in the chat.
Yes, I'll give you all the links then.
Thank you.
We have another question. So yeah, it's a question about the link with the department and the marketing. So how do you cope with the departments like marketing who want to upsell just after the first or second step of the pyramid? Like how do you explain what you just explained to us, how to sell this method or how to be convincing?
So I actually do use this pyramid when I talk to the sales department. They want to have them. So the MyFitnessPal is an example for a marketing department that was too loud and too powerful. And when they tell me like, yeah, but we need to upsell everywhere and we need to make the button bigger, the buy now button bigger, I show them this pyramid and I say, unless we have solved all the other tasks, you will just be annoying. And so this pyramid really helps to spark the discussion with the sales department if they are too pushy and they want to be too loud. Or on the other hand, to really, especially as a writer, as a UX writer, I work with the UX team, but often I touch the work of the marketing teams as well. And that way, this pyramid helps me to talk to the different departments and say, hey, the most important is that we solve a problem and we solve that really, really well. And only then people will buy. Otherwise, it's just annoying. So yeah, use this. It helps.
Thank you so much. Do you have any numbers or things like that we could share? I know marketers or sellers love numbers. Could be nice if you can add it with your sources at the end. If you don't have numbers in your fine right now.
We don't have numbers from our own work, unfortunately. It's in agency everyday work. It's difficult to measure. Once the project is done, it's done, and then we don't have a budget to measure. But there is a very famous Google example where they switched from book. I think it was for Google Flights or Google Hotels, and they said book now, and they switched it to make a reservation. I think that was the wording. And make a reservation changes is a totally different mental model. So people aren't afraid anymore because they will lose money. So just by changing that wording, they made, I think, 70% more conversion. So that's a nice number. It's not, I don't know if you are looking for that, but that's a nice number that I like to use. And then also Apple announced last week, I think, that they will switch from subscribe to a podcast to follow, because when you subscribe to a podcast, you have the mental model you have is that you have to pay for something. A subscription usually costs money, but podcasts are free. And so they said the mental model with Follow Me Now is it's free. So they switched just the wording, and they anticipate, I think the number was 47%. 47% of the people who look at podcasts won't subscribe because they're afraid it's going to cost money. I can share that article. So it's tiny little things that have a huge effect.
Thank you so much for those numbers. We can go to the next question. So it's from Luis. Did you know Victorinox made? I didn't know Victorinox made fragrances. Is your solution did work?
Yes, at the time. It was 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, we planned the funnel accordingly and could so get more traffic. But I don't have any numbers, unfortunately.
Thank you so much. We still have one question. No, I think it's okay. Geoffroy, do you still have any question?
No, but maybe something that I could add as information. When you also want to improve the conversion, you can work on that by doing A/B testing. So that's something you can do to test when you are changing the voice of tones. You can check, do you have more clicks on a button, for instance? And that could be interesting to see if you have more, let's say, little conversion on your website. If the change you made on your content brings you results. So that's some tools that you can use. Google made a really interesting documentation about conversion improvement and conversion rate optimization, basically.
Yeah, especially A/B testing. Words are so cheap to change. Like with images, usually, or with a new design, it's a lot of work and you have a lot of variables. But words are very easy to isolate and change. So A/B testing is a great way to understand what the mental models of your users are and what words resonate with them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other tools or tips to share?
Well, A/B testing is great, and it's also like, if you don't know, just make a quick hallway testing. Often, if I don't know which word will work better, which word or which sentence would resonate with people more, what will they understand? I often just ask my neighbors, just do a hallway test, like just ask a bunch of people, and it gives you so fast, so quick feedback. And words are really, really nice. Yeah, with design, you have so many variables. It's so difficult to do a helpful testing, but with words, just change the word. Uh-huh. So it's really like just a few tricks will bring you quite far with words.
Yeah, You can also use other tools to make heat maps on your web page to see basically if people are looking at the content or interacting with the content, and also to just make like to spot the difference when you make some changes. So that's something different than that can be used just to check that your A/B testing is working. That's one of the way to do that.
Nice. I don't think we have thank you. I don't think we have other question. So thank you so much and see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so here we go. So next time we are going to have a talk about analytics. So that might be interesting for you if you were interested in more into how you could like measure things on your website. And here Fabienne is going to talk about Matomo, which is an alternative to Google Analytics. And that's going to be on the 8th of June. You will be able to view that talk on YouTube or on Twitch. So don't forget to subscribe on Meetup, and you will be able to access that link soon. The Webmardi, as you know, is composed of 4 members. We have a lot to do to organize those events. And now we are looking for someone that could improve our website. So basically adding few features here and there, but also to bring new ideas to improve the Webmardi. So we have also other roles into the association that you might be able to fill as well. So if ever you are interested, you like to code, you like design, just send us an email to contact@webmardi.ch, and we'll be happy to receive your application. One our sponsor is looking for devs and contents writer. So basically, if you're living around in Romandie, you might be able to be interested. You might be interested in one of those jobs. So if ever you want to apply or to get more information, you can go on lip.ch/jobs. All our videos are available on YouTube. So you can, if ever you want to know what we talk about in the previous event, you can always see all the videos on YouTube. We have 2 set of videos, the one with the full event and the one with only the talk. So if you are only interested into the topic, you can watch only the video of the talk. And you can, I guess we have nearly like 15 talks already available on YouTube. So feel free to watch them. And thank you very much for attending this meetup tonight. I was really pleased to have Caroline and to be able to receive all your questions, to answer them. And I'm looking forward also to have you next time on the 8th of June for our Webmardi about Matomo. Have a nice evening.